bear with me because I am improvising this stream today. There's a lot I want to talk about, and I want to be super professional about essentially doing a live stream review of a mobile game nobody cares about, but it's unscripted, so I'm probably going to be bouncing all over the place. But the main reason why I'm streaming a mobile game probably nobody cares about is because the game you're looking at right here, Wibble Wobble at least, the servers are going to be shut down at the end of this month. So I thought I might as well just talk about it a bit before I never ever see the yokai contained within my copy again. Yeah, improvise, adapt, overcome. Arrgh! So I guess what I'll start off with is I'm capturing through side sync, which means I have to use my computer cursor. Like, I'm not just emulating this, because Wibble Wobble and Puni Puni is the Japanese version. They have anti-rooted detection software, I guess is what you'd call it. They don't like if your device has been rooted, so... Is root the correct word?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay.
Rooted means you can cheat.
Exactly. And, I mean, there is a meta to this, so... these are Smurf accounts I used. And I... so that I could, so I could get benefits for having friends. They weren't many. So yeah. I guess some context of why I got, inspired to stream this game, even though I usually just play it before bed, just to kind of have something mindless to play, let my brain just get the day stuff out, and then just go to bed. So there was this really cool event that happened. So this is one of those gacha games. So you have, you know, instead of ranking a character by stars, it's by rank. So, you know, so a 3-star character in this game would be like C rank. There's double S rank in this. In Puni Puni, apparently it's triple S rank. That was interesting to learn. So they did this awesome event a couple months ago. This was about late March, where you have an increased chance. In fact, it might be this banner. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so they said during this week, you have an increased chance for these rare yokai to show up. And down here was Slurping, and I guess I'll get to him later, but he was super, super important. Well, still is, now that I'm playing the Japanese version, but... So, this is a really hard to obtain yokai. He essentially can break the game, make it easier to play it for free without having to spend money. Because in Yokai Watch, Wibble Wobble and Puni Puni, all that matters is score. And so a yokai like Slurping, getting him from the gacha is super special because, like I said, he's super hard to get, and he is super duper helpful with getting your score higher, which increases your benefits, your chances on the ladder, you know, the leaderboards, stuff like that. So a lot of people were excited. It's like, wow, cool, look at all these super useful yokai. So this goes on for a month. No joke. April 2nd, we get an update, and it has this notice attached to it. Soon it will be time for us to say goodbye. As of April 2nd, 2018, all in-app purchases using real currency will be disabled. Don't worry, you can keep spinning the Crankakai until May 31st. And for like a split second I stared. Looks like Ninja Mutant Turtle the Slurping. He's actually a snake with 6 or 8 tongues. I keep forgetting which number. He's a snake, I tell you! He looks like a dumpling, but he's a snake! That's just his wibwob form. So, the first time I read this banner, I actually... Let me get a little bit closer so I don't have to yell at you guys. I just caught myself there. So, the first time I read this banner, I actually stood like almost in shock because I kind of thought this was an April Fool's joke, just delayed. And then I just kept reading, and I went on Reddit, because there is a small community for Yokai Watch in general in America. And they're like, yeah, no, this is happening. So, in other words, people were spending real money up until that important notice to give themselves more chances to get a game-breaking yokai on this list. And then the assholes responsible for the American servers were just like, oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna shut down the app for good, and no refunds. They didn't explicitly say no refunds, but I don't think American Google services are going to refund you, because they weren't lying to us. It was a mutual transaction. It's just, you can't say you were ripped off because, at the time, you were just giving them your money. It's fine. I read on Reddit a few British people got their money back. But, like I said, I don't expect in America I could get the embarrassing $30 worth of money I actually spent on this in hopes I could get Slurping. It's really bad. Oh, what I get today! Oh my god! So the main reason I've booted up the American one to start is to just do this farewell and kind of introduction. Rip. Yeah. No, they were being scumbags, but they didn't technically break the law. So, I'm screwed. This is also why I'm very, very careful with gacha games in general. I am one of those people who has addictive tendencies. I don't even have to do gambling in real life to know that I could develop a gambling addiction. So yeah. Where do we start then? Besides me having the sob story of how brokenhearted I was. Yeah. I'm trying to think. How should I start with a review? Well, I guess we can go... Let's just pick a low-level area. I'll go with Mount Wildwood. So, the first question, yeah, can get addicted real bad. And see, the thing is I love monster collecting games, so that's like one of the main draws for me in this. The funny thing is I'm talking about this mobile game with you guys today. Not once am I ever going to explicitly recommend it to you. I actually don't recommend this game. But it's something that just captivates me.
Up there.
Huh?
Getting choked up there.
Well, yeah. It's actually stuffiness, I swear. No, Anthony, I'm sad because I'm gonna lose Bisha Monten. Yeah, that was actually purely unintentional. Look at this face. I'm gonna lose him. Oh, he was actually helping me slightly, sort of, get higher scores. That's why we have to have this stream. I have to look at Bisha Monten. He is the only double S rank I ever got on this account. I still don't have a double S even in the Japanese one yet, but I'm also trying to catch back up to where I was before. Ugh, I'm gonna... no. You're probably gonna hear me sniffle a lot. I'm glad I'm able to stream because... Let's see, is it still windy? Oh, yeah. It is a terrible windy day for my allergies. I was worried I wouldn't be able to stream at all today. Does this... Oh, this doesn't do anything in the American game. No wonder I didn't hear about it. Or is it this one? Oh, it is. I didn't know this feature until recently. I just know I'm going to make lots of new friends before they die to the black hole of the servers shutting down. Okay, so I guess the first thing is, what's Yokai Watch Wibble Wobble? If it's not Pepper, it's you. Just joking.
I'm gonna have to put you in timeout, Flux, because you're totally insulting me.
Nah, you're fine, man. It's hard to always understand context through text, but I definitely could tell you were doing a playful jab. I'm fine, I swear.
So first of all, what's YoKai Wibble Wobble? Well,
It's supposed to be a puzzle game. It's a quote-unquote puzzle game.
You wouldn't be able to tell by the look of it.
You know? Well, I haven't gone into a level yet. So you collect these little squishy versions of the yokai. These are little Wibble Wobbles, these little dumpling-shaped versions. They appear at the bottom of the screen, and you're supposed to link them up. The higher the combo, the more damage they do, and the bigger the wob, I guess is what you'd call it, the more it helps fill their soultimate meters, which just means it's their ultimate attack. But because they're yokai, it's soultimate. Get it? So it's supposed to be one of those games where you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do this. Ooh. Also, voices are completely different between American and Japanese. I gotta hear English Gargaros one last time. And then as you're doing these combos, you can see at the bottom, this fever time bar is charging. So, it fills up faster, the more wobs you're connecting at once. Zoop. I'm just gonna sit here, oh. Well, I picked a really weak enemy, so I didn't have to go into fever time. So let's go find a harder enemy. Look at that puzzle, it's just so stimulating, is it not? I have not seen 12,000 Y money in forever. Okay, so we're gonna warp to... Let's do one of the bosses. Let's go to Massiface. Massiface. There we go. We'll fight a boss. You'll see the riveting mechanics. For me, this is a really good brainless game. Good sniffles. Here, let me try and use some nasal spray. I swear to God, it's nasal spray. Bosses just kind of mix up the mechanics a little bit, so I can target either an individual yokai or a certain part of a boss. So I'm supposed to go here and make combos. I'll do it the way they advertise, you know? It's this nice, it's such a casual, slow thing we can do together. Ooh. It's actually kind of hard to do this on a mouse. I wish I could be using my actual tablet, but then I'd have to be using my webcam to capture it. Which I will do for one round, but only one. I did want to have a crisper capture. I didn't want to be a certain lower budget YouTuber from back in 2008. Who do you think I am? Well, I'm a hobbyist streamer, so... let's try and get a Soultimate here for him. And then for him. So you've got yokai that help, like, erase parts of your board. Which is what most of these guys are. And then there are others that raise your attack. And ideally, I would have gotten everybody's Soultimates up before Fever Time. Fever Time's the best time to use your Soultimates, because then you just have this giant AoE of, like, raw damage thrown at the enemy. Oh, I hate using a mouse. Well, I guess at least I'm showing you, oh, it's not worth it. So I should have, oh no, never mind, I defeated him. You're supposed to fight this guy at level 30 originally, so yeah, level 50, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, so I've heard from forums there's a Disney game just like this. I think Tsum Tsum. The Tsum Tsum with a T, the silent T. Apparently it does the same thing. But yeah, so it's supposed to be this little puzzle game. And it's supposed to be, like, really engaging your brain. Ooh. My argument is it's really not as deep as it tries to sell itself. So I'm gonna go to my favorite grinding spot. I'm also going to be using my drawing tablet, of all things, for this next part. I did a test run of this. Whoops, I have it backwards. I actually did a test run with my tablet, and I'm like, wow, I can actually perform better with it. So, you know, I was making deliberate movements, trying to carefully pick out which yokai I was gonna pop. Not really necessary. But yeah, I believe the main reason why the servers are shutting down for America, or actually everything but Japan. Yokai Watch isn't doing well in America, but in Japan it is the newest Pokemon. It's actually rivaling Pokemon. But anyways, change of pace. I'm using my tablet so I can move a little bit faster. I'm just kind of flailing around. And I'm making combos. So like I said, the best situation in, you know, to set up your attacks is to have everyone's ultimates ready and spam it in fever time, because then everybody on the field, so like if I get a bonus of 10,000 during fever time, that's 10,000 damage split across everybody on the field at once, rather than be like concentrated damage on just one enemy. Because I can do that if I want, but I don't want to. Because then my score wouldn't be too high. Because this is one of the main reasons I don't actually recommend this game, despite enjoying it. Whoops. Well, besides my... Get out of my way. So, despite having fun with it, literally the only thing that matters is score in this game. Which means... Hang on, let me do my combo here. So I do an attack boost, I do a score boost. I don't know if you remember what Massifus's score was, but it should be a little higher here. And then I need to get Luminoct. The game tends to lag a lot. It's very processor heavy on your tablet. So usually by the time I hit fever mode, yeah, like 500,000 in damage. Or in score. So yeah, the amount of Y money you get at the end of every match is determined on that score. Which means, because score is the most important thing in all of this game, there are yokai that are objectively better than others. There is no argument. This isn't like in Pokemon where you can run like cute little gimmicks outside of the meta, you know, and still have fun, still manage to like get some wins and stuff. If you want to be high ranking, you must have yokai with certain like ranks and certain damage outputs. There is practically no wiggle room. So anything below S rank is pretty much not important. And this is a game filled with monsters to collect. But, let's see, let's do all by rank. Oh yeah, I got several double S ranks from that event in March that I never get to use after this month. Or actually after this stream, because I'm never touching it again. So, you know, it's like, oh, look at all these cool S ranks. Anything below here, you know, you just ignore it. It's filler. Because then it makes the double S ranks feel stronger. You know, it's like trading cards at that point. You want the super special ones, and sometimes there might be a rare chance where a weak-looking yokai is actually pretty useful, but, like, yeah, no. Yeah, that is the main reason why I do not recommend this game, because it is so... It has tunnel vision with strategy building and just using your favorite yokai. You can't even do that. And that's just trash, man. But I guess for me, it's the fact that I can, if I have high enough yokai, I could be doing lots of gacha cranks for free and get that, get that nice warm feeling of, kind of like when you open trading card packs. It's like, what am I going to get? I don't know what else to call it other than that gambling addiction. What else was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to show you an example. I think these two are the same in terms of damage output, damage inflicted. Okay, yeah. So, even though they're in different tribes, that can kind of affect your team composition for, like, doing bonus damage. Like, for instance, I have a bunch of brave yokai, and as a result, they're giving each other a boost because they're of the same tribe. If I were to swap out, it just increased right there. But yeah, here's, for instance, the Sultimate. Here's Demuncher. He does this attack that just does raw damage. So you were seeing me use Sultimate moves that were affecting my board. Ideally, if you're trying to get your score as high as possible, I've seen a lot of people strategize with yokai that attack the enemy, not your board. Because if you're going to mess up your board, you're going to be sitting there flailing about trying to get combos back up when fever time is like 10 seconds long. You really want to get those numbers up. So Demuncher, 17 points of damage is... it feels arbitrary. I honestly don't know how it's calculated with his attack. It just says 17 points. But then we go to this guy, double S rank. He nozzle, 20 damage. And he does the same thing. Attacks a single enemy. He is objectively better. There is no arguing anything, So we did that. The other really disheartening thing is you get a lot of yokai that can recover your health. But because score is the only thing that matters, it's better to power through. It's really annoying. Oh, right. Let's show off Libertine Yan. He's exclusive to the American... That won't exist anymore on the American servers. Yeah! Pepper. Let's see, what else was there? I'm sorry for going silent. It's called, like I said, I'm improvising this review. Oh, it is actually kind of a pain at the beginning, but it's manageable. Like, because I had experience behind me, or at my side, I've been able to just, because this, of course, is a game with a stamina meter of sorts, so I'm using Spirit, I think is what they call the currency, instead of stamina. Don't confirm changes. What was I gonna say? Yeah, you can feel the grind until you get your good yokai. Another reason why I don't recommend this, because it is nothing but grinding until you get to that point. And I mean, I technically never really got to that point. On my American account, I was starting to get there. The reason why I was joking about crying over Bishamonten is because his ability, you saw him do that vertical slash down the center. The damage he does increases with, depending on how many of his wobs are on the screen when he's doing that slash. Like within those boundaries. So that means it's not as easy for me to control, like how high my score goes. It's a little bit variable, but it means I can go from like 500,000 to like 700,000 in my score. Or have I hit 1,000,000 before? I may have hit 1,000,000 thanks to Bishamonten, or however the heck you're supposed to pronounce it. Ideally, you want a yokai that's doing, like, static damage, and you can just fire off the Sultimate as many times as possible. That's why the direct attack yokai are preferred. Oh, and then you also want, like, a damage up, so that's Gargaros. You want a score up, that's Sergeant Burley. Apparently a score attack booster, I read, multiplies how much your points are worth. And then an attack booster just adds points instead of multiplies. So I've seen a lot of people who will do 2 score boosters, maybe an attack booster, and then like Slurping like here or something, and then their direct attacker. It sounds stupidly simple, but you cannot believe just how hard it is to obtain. And yeah, they don't have an event going on because it's shutting down. There's usually always some sort of special event going on that usually only benefits the whales. It's a shame, but that's life. Whoops, I accidentally moved the window. Okay, we're good. Never mind. What was I gonna show you? I think I'll show a video of what Slurping does to give you guys an idea. I just have to find that real quick. But I also wanted to show you legendary yokai. Ooh. So I've actually been using a legendary this whole time. Where are you? So you have to have... Excuse me. Jeez. So yeah, I've been using Shogun Yan. As you collect yokai, if you get very specific ones, they can unlock these seals. Unlock all the seals, you get a legendary yokai. And that's how you're supposed to get Slurping, who is...
Oh.
No, it's not this one. It's not this one either, hang on. Where are you, Slurping? I actually don't know who all of these are. What the heck, Slurping? Oh, I think it's this one. Yes. So, Slurping breaks the game, but you have... Where the hell are you? Oh, you know what? This might not be Slurping. Hang on. I'm sorry, my brain... There you are. Okay. Some of the yokai needed to unlock these super awesome legendaries have to be obtained through the Crank-a-kai, which is their gacha system. And if that's not... That just adds an extra layer of frustration.
It includes all, like, materia that are obtainable as well.
So it's like you get yourself easily caught in this situation of, well, I need to get Unikirin was the one I was showing on screen. Well, I need him, but it's hard to get money in this game. So I'd have to pay real money to maybe get the chance to unlock Unikirin. And it's just like, ugh. Oh, here, look, we can do a free crank. Ooh, a 5-star. Let's do it. Oh, thanks, Garuma. I've gotten just a few of them. So if you get... I guess it's also worth mentioning, you can't have duplicates of yokai. If you obtain them, it goes towards leveling up their ultimate moves, which will also in turn help you do more damage to get more points, to get more money. You just saw how very little I increased his ultimate move. Once you hit level 4, you kind of hit this wall. It is significantly much more work to up their ultimate. Now you can increase it with an item that I don't have right now. Where was my login sheet? Here it is. So, this is a super powered version of it, but... Oh, hey, get back here. This book is called Soul Secrets in America. I forget what it's called in Japan. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Sorry, Anthony just snorted. Just chuckling. Well, this is what happens when I'm improvising and desperately trying to find more...
relevant?
Yeah.
I sound so relevant and hip, kids.
Kids! I'm playing a children's game.
Children's card game.
Yeah. It ain't a children's card game, it's a children dumpling popping game.
Bakura, what are we doing today?
Bakura! What are you playing? I'm playing a children's ghost game.
What?
Yeah. I'm fighting a piece of corn that makes you stupider. Which is an actual yokai. I don't know what his name is, because I don't even think it got translated. Because Yokai Watch has been doing so bad in America. But anyway, Soul Secrets allow you to increase that level up meter we saw earlier directly. You don't have to get duplicates that way, but they're very hard to obtain, very sparing in the game. So just... Oh, thank you, tablet. What are you doing? Whoops. To use, click or tap the screen. Please. Can I have it back, please? Thank you. Oh, I crashed Wibble Wobble. Oh, no. Oh, no, I'm so sad. So yeah, it's like you get stuck in this obnoxious loop where it's like, I need better yokai, I need to improve the good yokai I have, and that is loud. Thanks. The game is challenging who can be louder, apparently. Me or it.
Definitely you.
I agree. I will always win.
Watch.
Thank you for
Wibble
putting up with
Wobble.
me, by the way. I'm trying to be a little bit quieter. I do have my...
Did you by chance purchase Starry Valley as well?
No. Dowie.
The first was thinking about playing the Starry Valley multiplayer.
Aw. I had to order toilet paper with that money. So yeah, that's just like one of the big problems with this game is it knows how to get you caught in that loop of, oh, just pay real money, because then maybe you could get, you know, better yokai, which will help you during the events where we'll give you more soul secret books, which will make your few yokai you have a little bit stronger. And then, you know, it's dangerous, man. Don't fall for it, shenanigans. So let's see. I was going to show how I actually have played it, not with a tablet, none of that silliness. I gotta put my tablet somewhere, though. There we go. Just put you down there. So what we're gonna do now... We're gonna do the most professional reviewing ever. I know I was joking about I wanted better capturing, but unfortunately, in order to show you how I actually use my tablet, we have to go so fancy. I'm gonna switch over to my tablet screen. And I think the game's gonna crash again. It really doesn't like this. Yeah, it hates.
Getting around the no capturing rules, that's why.
So now we're just gonna hear the game through my speaker, which, woo. This should be loud enough. So yeah, like I said, I know it's very old school, this setup, but it's the best I can do. Any day you're ready now, Wibble. Enjoy the silence. Alright, so we're gonna go to my favorite place, like I showed earlier. Let's see if I can do this in one shot. Hey, silly pepper bird. Trying to make sure it's centered. So I end up actually doing this. So I want to get only 2 combos because it's going to help towards filling up my Sultimate bars, but it's also going to keep the Fever Time bar from filling up too quickly so that my whole team will be ready. Much faster than my previously shown techniques for, you know, showing off the game in general. So this is where I actually slow down a little bit. And now I just want to fill up the Sultimate bars of a few more yokai. He's ready to go. Whoops, excuse me. I don't want to do too much damage on, is that Steppa? I think it's Steppa. The seaweed dude in the center. Let's see. Because I have to do the final phase of my strategy. Come on. Alright, now time for part 3. So I told you Bishamonten, his damage output depends on how many of them there are. Well, there's nothing against me just filling up the board with nothing but Bishamontens. This is also the strategy used for the broken one with Slurping. You want to fill the board with your attacking yokai and Slurping. And you're just going to make them as big as possible. On average, these take about 3 minutes. So that's also where you're going to feel the grind in this game. And the only thing that keeps me are the adorable critters. I accidentally killed them because I'm too powerful. We're going to try that again. I'm actually surprised how clear, like, my webcam's showing things clearer than I gave credit, like, or than I was expecting. Okay, so that did not go according to plan. We need to go to a stronger area. It's just because as soon as you get double S rank yokai, things start getting a little broken. Nice, kid. Yes, Harrisville, and then I think she'll have 3. I specifically want 3 yokai on the screen just so I can, like, divvy up their health differently, like, spread it, kind of chip away at it without actually killing them too soon. If any of that made sense. I just realized that was gibberish. Never mind. Oh, well, I should target this guy, so we're gonna try again. Before I had Bishamonten, I usually didn't easily clear the Seaweed Trio stage from earlier. But yeah, check out that super complicated puzzling right here. Oh. My brain is connected to my arms right now. It's the only way that it would be stimulating my brain. My arms are the brain. Okay, so finish up. I don't think I'm going to be able to. Now I'm in a place where they're too strong. You see the dilemma? That's why the Seaweed Trio is so popular, because they don't actually hit that hard. So, you know what? That's okay. I can pay 500 Y money to continue at full health. So we're just going to do that. Like, oh no, I have 13,000 because the game's just throwing money at me. Oh no. I'm just doing this for example. So everyone's charged up. Now we get to this part. Oops. I am going to accidentally fat finger a few of the Bishamontens when I don't want to. Dang it. Trying not to do that, but I'm trying to show the absolute most perfect setup with this guy, because then I can do the most damage. But under normal circumstances, depending on how much health I had remaining or how much health my enemy had, I may have to, like, you know, I'd have to cut this swarming technique short and just go into fever time. Again, I don't care if I have to spend more money to keep playing, because I'm never touching this again after today. Just keep going with Puni Puni. Aww. Okay, Flux. That's okay. All that was left after this was just showing where I am in the Japanese version. Because, you know, that's the only way I can keep playing this game.
And then Haiti.
And then Haiti. Haydee. That kind of hate. Not the country. Listen to me laugh. Sorry. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Also, I apologize for making it look like I'm half trying to flip you off. It's called, I brace my middle finger with my index, and since the middle finger is actually usually the longest finger on the human hand, that's why I end up doing that. It's so I don't have quite, even if it's by a few centimeters, or a millimeter even, it's less distance I have to travel to poke the screen. Come on. I'm gonna be OCD because this is the last time I get to do this. Okay, so If you have a wob of size 13, for a lot of yokai, that immediately fills their ultimate meter back up. So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm just going to do 14. We activate our power. We activate score boost. And now we attack with our beautiful... Come on. Sorry. And then I get to do it again. Come on. There we go. And then we just use our other yokai for some additional damage. Awesome. That actually went perfect. That is the most optimized way I would use this team. 38,000 damage with a boost is 1.5 million on my score. Yay! And it also gave me 500 Y money, which doesn't make the grind feel as bad. It's still a lot of work. So that's what I would do. That was the strategy originally. Are there still daily missions? I think there are. Oh, there are. Why? Okay. Yeah, we'll just do this here. Or maybe I should go back to capturing, like normal. Tablet screen time, and great. Alright. Game's gonna crash again, of course. Ow. There it goes. We're gonna have this ugly border from my desktop. That's just how it captures.
YoKai Watch! Wibble Wobble!
Rip game. But yeah, that's why I was like, well, I need to use the tablet, because that's when it gets crazy. Also, this is broken for some reason. Why is that broken? Is everything okay up there? Oh, right, that's one more thing, just to show the scummier sides of this game. Class. So, originally... Why is it censored? It's self-censoring itself. That's an interesting glitch. Anyway, they had perks, you know, based on how much money you spent. I think I can't remember if you wanted it, if it's for Panda Noko or the absolute biggest perk, but somewhere around here, $800 US. Absolutely insane. Oh wow, look at all this. All this display is just... It's like the game knows it's gonna be terminated. I'm gonna be able to see into the Matrix. So what I was going to do is one more crank, because I was talking to you about, oh, you're gonna feel the grind. It's censored out for some reason, but in the regular crank, this is the basic bitch gacha machine. A lot of gacha games do this. This is the... like, cheaper, but not as good reward machine. You want the special one. This one's 4,500 of their currency. And you saw me get 500 in an ideal situation with my best team. And that's if I were to, you know, not have to actually spend money to keep myself alive. So, it takes a while. I think it'll let me do this. Awesome. So, we're gonna run our imaginary money dry. These will be the final cranks on my American account. I swear to God if I get unicorn. Probably not, though. Ooh, Sonic Bam! Look at him run. I'm basically living at the speed of sound. Everything seems like it stopped to me. Aren't you fancy? Interesting, he's heartful. Didn't know that. That was really irrelevant, but... It's confidential how much money I'm using.
Unbelievable!
Oh. Yeah, so sometimes the game jokes with you, and like usually the color of the capsule gives you an idea about what rarity is about to pop out. So you saw gold for an S rank. Red tends to be for like B and A ranks, but this one was joking. So it's just like, look, I'm just a boring old red. Psych, I'm an S rank. That's a very common thing that happens in this. Oh, they actually have the word tempura in it. Sorry. I was thinking back to the 90s when everything Japanese had to be changed into American into American terminology. So, bad joke.
Oh, I can't buy anymore.
Yeah, 2 cranks. Woo. One last thing before I close this one for good. I can get him in the Japanese one, but, you know, through luck. I think my favorite yokai, Narwhale. I never got to level him up. I was going to, but no. I love his noise. Just He's a whale with a joke name of narwhal that makes noises like a walrus. It's magnificent. I forget what he does. Oh yeah. He's a space whale, so that's why he's got this cool flowy water scarf thing. So I'm gonna miss him a lot. I hope I can get him soon. He may not be the objectively the best slippery S rank. I honestly don't know, especially because it's redacted right now. But oh well. I hope to see you again soon, my dear narwhale. Oh, I think another one. Like, so there's a lot of palette swaps to fill up the, you know, Pokedex equivalent in this game. In all of Yokai Watch, actually. But you can see some really good and, like, funny designs from time to time. This guy, I don't know if I'll be able to see him in America because Yokai Watch 3 has not been announced for America, but he exists in here. And this is American yokai. See, that would be especially hilarious if Yokai Watch 3, which is supposed to focus on a parody of America, can't actually make it to America because it's not popular in America. Apparently he had an evolved form, or like a previous form, T-Rex. This is Destroy. It's like I get to see their little animations. They're so cute. Oh, I never actually saw that dance. Oh, those are perfect. Close second to Narwhale. This is no big deal. I can get Blue Minoko easily, but I love this little guy. He also makes squeaker toy noises. My favorite. I think those are all of the yokai that mattered most to me. They had a Christmas event. So we've got Jibanyan and Komusan are essentially mascot characters to this franchise, so they've got 1,000 reskins of them, naturally. Oh, I didn't see what this guy does. Flying Dolphin erases Wibwobs at a ridiculous speed, so he randomly pops Wobs. Through intensive training, he mastered the art of supersonic kung fu, with moves imperceptible to most. He fells his opponents in the blink of an eye. There's a recolor of him that I believe is called Naked Speed, with an E. Not naked, it's Naked Speed. Or is that the one with the yokai that has a shoe for a head? Like, they have some really silly stuff in here. Oh, wait. No, it's in the Japanese account. I think that wraps up for the American account. I hope my, oh, I can uninstall this, too. Yes! Yes! I can uninstall WibWob, get it off of my hard drive. Having 2 copies of it is just a little bit much. Oh no, you guys are gonna know what other terrible apps I have. Oh no. Force stop. Goodbye forever. Probably should have done this off stream. What am I doing? Let's see, was there anything else? No, I mean, there's not much else to say. It's for me, a nice brainless game, but I would say mileage varies for other people. You know, the grind is real. I don't recommend it if you have addictive tendencies, because it's got just the right traps in place to tempt those microtransactions. So yeah. And you also have to really like the characters for any of it to matter to you. So, we'll move on to my Japanese account, I guess, just real fast. And the only thing of note for that is you need to be connected to the Japanese servers, and like that's why Tunnel Bear is up here. He's significant because he lets you swap VPNs, is the technical term. Essentially, go and pretend you're on a Japanese server for a while, download the game. After you've made a Japanese Gmail account so that you can access the Japanese Google Store, download it, and then you don't technically need Tunnel Bear afterwards. So I've just been using my Wi-Fi, and I can still play Puni Puni, is what it's properly known as in Japan. Also, I hope you enjoy the border that's Jupiter around my capture. I really loved a colored photo of Jupiter that NASA took, so that's my desktop background. Woo, let's travel in space! Same intro. So, I actually have no idea what any of this text says. I just know how to navigate the menus. But I mean, if for whatever reason you do want to play this game, it's alive and well in Japan. So, you also get a lot more variety with your yokai. Oh, those coins are significant to me. It's also really cool because you do get, like, the tiniest slice of, like, Japanese marketing as well. Like, I think what they're doing right now is you go to, you buy select varieties of this drink, and there's, like, a cap underneath that lets you potentially redeem any of these yokai. And that's really it's just fascinating to me. I guess I really like looking at marketing and toy lines and stuff, because I love to collect useless junk. I don't know what any of that is. So as you can see, I'm at Excellent Tower. I guess it is called that still, because there's X right there. So I'm not too far behind from where I was before, but I have to get really far to get to the point where I need Slurping, and I still need to show you about the Slurping Flood, as it's called. But remember when I was talking about Unikirin earlier? I have him now. I was able to buy him and guarantee I got him, so that's interesting. They all have different voices, like I said. Not quite feel the burn, you know, how he says it in English, but oh well. I think my favorite has to be that Gargaros looks like he's hacking a loogie. He is my spirit animal, I guess. I also got Gargaros within the first month of playing this through the event they were doing. I was just like, well, okay then, cool. They also do a ton of crossovers. This is stuff that, like, won't happen usually in American copies of games because of licensing rights, but that's another interesting thing, I think, between Puni Puni and Wibble Wobble, because they've done so many other crossovers. So, like, they've done, like, popular or like classic manga characters. Apparently Ranma was available. Oh, this is... yeah. Ruffraff. American Ruffraff. Sorry, I also forgot to share Ruffraff. He's another one of my favorites. He should be tough. I think that's by rank. Oh, snap! Okay, hang on. That one's more important, but... do I not have Ruffraff? Oh, I do. Just to let you know, if you ever wanted to get into the YoKai Watch franchise, you've got Pompadour lizards.
Timmy!
I forget what its Japanese name is, and I've been watching the anime. Well, I did several months ago. No, this one's the most important. This is Obaga, which is a joke on how Japan says "oh my god," and as you can see, it's American yokai, because apparently an American stereotype is that we're always shouting "oh my god." So, I love this guy. I think that's my, like, favorite thing about YoKai Watch 3 is, like, how many really funny American stereotypes they have represented. And they're, like, harmless ones, like us shouting expletives all the time. I love it. But he's a hamburger that swears. I love it, it's so stupid. So let's see, I can't do a crank. I have no idea what this is. This is also exclusive in Japan. I think it has to do with the Dark YoKai Watch, but I only know that the Dark YoKai Watch exists. So... ugh. Yeah. Oh, the other thing that's really cool about this version is you get some nice free yokai. Hang on. Let's see. You... I think this is level? No, that's ultimate level. I don't know. Shoot. That's by date. I explicitly remember that one. But yeah, you get little Puni or squishy versions of, like, their mascot characters, and they're actually really helpful for the beginning of the game. That's what's been helping me just skyrocket back close to where I was before. Oh, are there?
Yeah, probably with Pepper, since he's been in office so much.
That's true. Yeah, we could have some doves looking for him. Yeah, I don't think there's anything extra I have to say other than it's the same game. As long as you can remember where all of the menu placement, you know, where the placement of all the menu items are, you can get through it just fine. And there are websites that will, you know, through a very rough Google Translate, give you information on the events. So, YoKai Watch might be failing here in America, but I will not give up on it. I will be a weirdo. I am terrible at conclusion paragraphs, so all I can say at this point is, let me show you what the Slurp and Flood strategy is, and why I am still bothering to play this game. Hey, Pepper! So yeah, what ends up happening is, you have yokai that, a few yokai that can increase the size of random wibwobs. To a certain size, and it usually doesn't go higher than 2 or 3. What makes Slurpin special is that he will do 8. So that's the big deal about this Leafy video. So essentially, Slurpin can make it where if you just flood the board with him and your attacker, then you can just chain off a ton of Sultimates at once. And this is a huge Well, I actually can't say if it's huge in Japan, but at least on the American servers, this was a huge strategy. I presume this is a big one in Japan, but I can't tell for sure. There's triple S ranks in the Japanese version. So then you just kind of chain them together, because Slurping won't get them at the exact perfect size. Like I said, 13 is the magic number. And I think that is a magic number in Japan, now that I think about it. So you just have them flood. The game usually shits its pants at this point. And then you launch your attack boosters and your score boosters. So that's what these two guys are. So this is why Slurping is so important, is because you can do this ridiculousness right here. Like, I got 1.5 million with my setup that took, I think, a year to get, just because the grind was that slow for me at the time. I can't say that will be the experience for everybody, because new yokai are always coming out, and there's triple S ranks, for God's sake. So anyways, why am I still... We can skip this, so I'm not just stealing this poor dude's video. Boom. Almost 2,000 when you get to... How many of those are there? It's, 1,000. Yeah, 9 million damage. Whew. So that's why Slurping is so important. I know that's a very cut and dry, Oh no! We can see chat! Uh-oh. I don't know why it chose to capture that. That's silly. But yeah. That's what I wanted to wrap up my Wibble Wobble talk with, is like, it's broken if you have the right yokai. I also just wanted to get footage of,
Stored memories of the American account before it's gone forever.
So anyways, let's move on. Like I said, I'm terrible with closing paragraphs. So, it's probably better I just move on. Yeah. I really love the Yokai Watch franchise. It's a shame it's not doing well in America. And, I like Wibble Wobble, but I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. But it's still a game I find personally fun.